and there's about 6 issues that led to the disclaimer. Issue number 1 was on late submission of 2019-2020 financial statement. The status remained the same. Number 2, failure to submit financial statement for 2017, 2018, and earlier years. That one still remained the same. Number 3 is about inaccuracies in the presentation of annual report and financial statement. This is about accuracies of the financial statement. The status remained the same. Number 4 is on unsupported comparative and opening balances in the financial statement. Chair, the same to this is still, the issue remained the same. Number 5 is on casting errors. The issue remained the same also. Unsupported cash and cash equivalent. This one still remained the same. Do I proceed to the next here?
We can make comments after that. Go to 2020, 2021.
Okay. In 2021, the opinion was still a disclaimer, and the issues there's 8 issues in that particular year. Issue number 1 is late submission of 2020-2021 financial statement. That one is still outstanding. Failure to submit financial statement for audit for 2017-2018. It is the same issue that was there in 2020. Number 3 is inaccuracies in presentation of the annual report and financial statement. This is also a repeated issue which was there in 2020. The other issue is number 4 is unsupported expenditure on van administration expenses and general expenses. We verify this, but the status remain because what has been submitted as annexure is not supporting the issue that we had raised. Number 5 is on cash and cash equivalent. There's not been also be able to support. We don't have the correction of the errors, journal forgers, and the evidence attached. There was no evidence attached to the support management assertion. Number 6 is on annual report for the disbursed bursary. This has not been submitted. In their act, it is supposed to be submitted to the county assembly, but we didn't check. We didn't see any submission. Number 7 is on bursary and scholarship to students. That is unsupported disbursement of bursary and scholarship. And there are several issues that we had we raised. One of them was the application form completed, and this was not submitted with showing fee structures, various institutions, certified student fee, balance, or fee balance. So it's still outstanding. The last one is on non-compliance with fiscal responsibility principle, going beyond the prescribed percentage on general expenses for fund. 5.6% against 2%. That was all for 2021, Chair. Do I proceed to 2022?
That's 2021, 2022. You can proceed.
In 2022, I think they improved. The opinion was qualified opinion, and the basis for qualification was one issue, that is on cash and cash equivalent. They have responded, but management have not attached a bank reconciliation statement to address the issue raised. On other matters, that is prior year unresolved issues, this is an issue that is under consideration, that is 2020-2021. It is part of what the committee is considering. On lawfulness, we still have the same issue for prior years, that is late submission of financial statement, which is still outstanding. Number 2 is on an acknowledged bursary disbursement. It's still an issue in 2022. Chair, I think those are the issues in 2021, 2022. Thank you.
Okay, members, I know we will have an opportunity to go through the deeper aspects of the queries, but if any member has a comment, please, you can make a comment. Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I realize the unseriousness of the county government in terms of preparing documents or complying with the law, the Public Audit Act, particularly Section 31. All years, and I've gone through these documents, and I've perused through their responses, and they're very casual. So the first thing, Mr. Chairman, is that I will say I'm very concerned about the competency in that county government, from the prior governor and now coming into the next government. You cannot answer questions the way you're answering. I've listened to the auditor saying they were late in submitting. If you read some of the casual responses that they give, one of them they say it's not a big deal. We're only late for 4 days. The other one they say we're late for 1 month. You know, you look at others where they say they received money at the last quarter. So we don't know whether the checks were stale or not. I don't know, Mr. Chairman, whether you've gotten a chance to go through these responses. They are so casual, you know, and they are not even befitting responses to a Senate committee. I can empathize with the auditors if this is the kind of treatment they receive. This is public money we're talking about here. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm completely disappointed in the casual manner of responding to these documents. If you look at what has been presented to me on the current year that we are looking at, which is 2021-2022, even the papers themselves are very dirty. Then if you look at there is a letter they said that they wrote to all ward administrators. That letter was written after the financial year is over. So what exactly are we doing going through these documents? So Mr. Chairman, I would suggest that even the former governor has to be summoned to be able to come in and respond to this, because I don't expect this kind of casual responses to the Senate. This is an issue of fiduciary responsibility. This is public money, which is very scarce. And for it to be utilized the way they want to utilize it, really this Senate must put its foot down. So, Mr. Chairman, I am extremely disappointed in the manner that the responses have been given, very casual, do not abide by the accounting policies and procedures. So, I think if we start going through, and if you hear disclaimer of opinion being rendered, it means that the auditors were limited. The scope of audit was limited. So I leave it to you, but as far as I'm concerned sitting here, I find a lot of casualness, lack of competence in the accounting departments, and I'm concerned if this is how we're going to continue trying to ensure fiduciary responsibility. This Senate must be different. It must push for accountability. If we don't, we are wasting our time here.
I want to join Senator Olekina on the same, because looking at all the queries, they are not responded to. Or rather, they were responded to, but they are not satisfactorily responded to. Because if you look at 2020, there were 6 issues. They were not responded satisfactorily. 2021, there were 8 issues. None were actually satisfactorily responded to. If you look at 2022, there were 4 issues. They're still the same. And if you look at the analysis of the response share, because there are no evidences attached to the issues. You will look at the report and you will see in the analysis that the title, for example, the statements are not signed, the report are not signed, the accountant has not signed. Surely. I don't know what we are looking at here. In fact, if you look at 2021, you will see that the report of the fund, the manager has not signed. Yeah? You will see that the issues of the qualification of the membership is not attached. The photos that are required by law to be attached is not attached. Accountability bit, you will see that the recipients have not acknowledged. Yeah? So I think there are a lot of issues in these reports. I don't know what is the position of the committee, because if I look at 2022, as the OAG has said, when they are supposed to be utilizing 3% as per the law, they have actually gone against that and utilized 5.7%. So it's up to the committee whether to proceed looking at it, but I feel that the response is not up to standard. I thank you.
Even a CPA person there, and there is a CC was a chief officer in the last government. I mean, for God's sake, they have let you down. I don't know if they know what they are doing or they don't know. Maybe you need a very serious capacity building for the county. Isiolo County is one of the smallest counties. You get resources you get is close to Elgeyo-Marakwet County, and we've been fighting with Senator Dulo to be given additional resources. I don't know those additional, even the ones that you already have. I mean, you can't, for 12 years of devolution, you can't do some basic report basically, Governor, maybe when you go back, you need to do some firing of some people who have let you down, because you've been exposed for no reason. And you were in Nairobi County that we expected to be the city county, you should have taken some good skills that you learned from Nairobi County to Isiolo, so that Isiolo shines like the rest of the counties. But your people really let you down. We don't know one assigned, so we don't know if these things you should pick them from the street and photocopy it for us.
Before you give direction, I'm a little bit at a loss of words on the opening balances of 2019-2020. Because if you read the auditor's query, number 2, failure to submit financial statement for 2017, 2018 and earlier years. I know in these funds we deal with accrual, correct? And they are not cash basis. So if we're dealing with an accrual system of accounting, how do you begin accounting for resources when you do not have the closing balance or the balance brought forward? If you see the casual response by the county government, one, you conclude two things: that government led by the governor has completely failed. You cannot have a response that says that the management has noted the Auditor's General observation for non-submission of financial statement for 2018, 2017, 18 and earlier years, and this is regretted. What is regretted? Who is going to account for public resources? This casual and to some extent clandestine way of responding to things because you don't want the truth to come out really must be looked at, because there are consequences for such, and the unintended consequences leads to public money being wasted. So, Mr. Chairman, as a ranking member in this committee, I don't see how we proceed even without the former governor seated here to go through this. You've also indicated that you had a CEO who was in the former government. That's the issue of accountability. Governor, we don't take this lightly. I don't sit here to go through really what I consider is very casual, not giving a hoot in hell about the responses, because I would have expected, Governor Guyo, you were in Nairobi City County. And you know you're coming to a committee where very senior members are sitting and they take time to go through these documentations. So I'm concerned, I'm raising a very, very red flag on the issue of fiduciary responsibility in the case of Isiolo County Government. Mr. Chairman, these are the same kind of traits that we noticed in the last parliament with the county government of Samburu. And we didn't care who was protecting who. We dealt with them. And that governor stayed away from office until his term of office was over. Just because of casual things like this, accountability. You know, we are with the auditors so that we can look at these documents. But the question that, Mr. Chairman, I want you to deal with is that how do we start looking at 2019, 2020, yet we don't know the figures of the prior years? How? We can't. Unless the other ranking members who are here, and also from the National Assembly before, can be able to guide us on this. But as far as I'm concerned on the issue of fiduciary responsibility and the issue of accounting policies and procedures, I am at a loss of words. So, Mr. Chairman, I leave it to you to make your decision, but the decision you make must also be sound and must be guided by a fiduciary responsibility.
Sir?
This is a very difficult situation, Chair. You know, you need to stand in, now with your wisdom. So my proposal maybe we need to ask the governor, including the former governor, how much time do you need so that the prior years are brought up to date. You do proper responses, because what you've given us is not a response, it's not signed, we don't even know, but these are just flying papers around. How much time do you need so that we can give you an opportunity to come back to the committee? You go and do, like, I don't know what they call it, special assignment to get all the other prior years, and Chair, maybe then you can give them an opportunity now so that we consider 20 up to 2022-23. You give them an opportunity, I don't know, maybe another 2 months or whatever. Maybe he needs to tell us how much time, and do you have the people in place to do that job, because it looks like you don't have. That's just my thought, it's a wild thought.
Senator Miraj? Nothing. Eddie?
Chair, I'm embarrassed to talk.
I think Madam CEC, you have been there longer. You said you are Chief Officer Education.
Yes, I was the Chief Officer Education, and I can assure you we have done our best. When you go to prior years, you may not even see any documentation, but during our time, we are able to produce list of beneficiaries.
Wait a second. Madam CEO, please be very careful through the governor on what you say. Because the chairperson has asked you a very simple question and say, you were the Chief Officer of Education in the last government. That government started 2017. For the very least, we should have the information from 2017 if your argument is to be taken to mean anything. But here, if you look at 2019-2020, and I invite you to look at this document, the first query, number 2, failure to submit financial statement for 2017-2018. So that fiduciary responsibility falls on you. So you cannot tell us you've done it well enough. Where are the information for 2017-2018? Because the chair guided this committee from the onset and said, we are limited. Our scope of interaction is limited to the financial years which we requested. But if the first thing that the auditor says, 2017-2018, we don't have the financial statements, and you say you have done enough,
I have.
Because, Madam, Governor was not there, we were not there. And we are relying on you to be able to deal with these reports. So, because looking at the responses, and I want to agree with the members, it does not help us. Because we would like to be given proper responses so that we go through these reports and do our report. Because with this response, we cannot even do our report. What are we going to write in our report? We will write there were no financial statements. That's not a report. So that's why really the committee depends on you. The county governor depends on you because you are there on these matters. Because as it is now, we are not going to make progress on this. And that's why I come back to Senator Kisang has asked that how much time do you need to be able to give us proper responses and the documents we want to have so that we can make progress. Because at this rate, the committee cannot do a report. They have no evidence to put in the report. They have no substance to put in the report. So please guide us. And as I said, everyone is relying on you. Are there?
From 2018-2019, we submitted the financial statement, and
Madam CC,
Chair,
I've not finished.
Chair.
No.
No, please,
Chair,
please
Chair,
address
Chair.
the chair.
Chair, it looks like the CC she has not understood what you are saying. We have even told you the responses that you've given us are not responses. And you are still insisting that from 2018-19 we've done, we've said these are not responses. When you are saying you are agreeing, they are not documents, and you are not telling us you are going to get the documents.
Okay.
So basically you are,
Okay, then
basically you are telling us you're incompetent.
no.
Yeah.
Senator,
Maybe you can get 3
let's
months.
hear from Senator Edi.
Chair, I want to help Senator Kisang. Senator Kisang is my elder, and I think that is not the CEC that is struggling. I think this is the committee that is struggling to understand that this county is not functioning. This county is not functional. We have had this county here before. You see documents here written that we regret. It's not functional. And this is a county that should set an example to other counties. On a very serious note, Article 192 of the Constitution articulates conditions for which a county can be suspended. The governor is not functioning. Leave alone even the CEC. The chief executive officer of this county is the governor. For the governor to actually sanction this report to come to the committee of the Senate, this document was sanctioned by the governor himself. The CC did not. For a chief executive to actually look into these documents, dispatch them from Isiolo and get them here to us without these responses, the county government is not functioning. So the Article 192 of the Constitution requires this. The county can be suspended by the president under circumstances like war or conflict or any other exceptional circumstances, which include dysfunctional government like this. And Chair, with a lot of respect for the people of Isiolo, because we are sending money to Isiolo every time. With a lot of respect for the people of Isiolo, I'm expecting, Chair, that perhaps you sanction a special audit for this particular county. That special audit could actually lead to initiation of a commission that can then be able to do a special report on this particular county. And it's not only on these funds, but other funds that have seen this kind of mediocre responses. And forgive my language. This is embarrassing to the people of Isiolo. It's taking advantage of the people of Isiolo. What are we debating here? Why can't you just sanction a very special audit report on this? We as a committee will affirm that special audit with a follow-up on a commission to inquire on what's happening in Isiolo.